What's going on, homie G-Dog Slim Nipples?
Did you you just say homie G-Dog Slim Nipples? Oh,
Yes, I did.
I forgot that one. We used that when we were kids a lot. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. So it is tonight's going to be a little different. If you guys have been watching our podcast, we've had a lot of guests on. Chris has been doing a lot of photos and a lot of swapping and links, and tonight is going to be a little different. So tonight is just going to be discussing the blessing that my son and I had. Hey, Chubby, that Nick and I had the first day of archery. So I think that's a great story that I've been dying to tell. And I think it'd just be a good way to start. So, and a good episode for us. So, Chris, we are, before we get started, let everyone know where they can find us here. There's so many places at this point they can listen to or watch our podcast.
Oh, yeah. Of course, you can find us here on the YouTubes. We can got the Facebooks. We're available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, anywhere you like your podcasts, you're going to find us there. And last but not least, we do this handy dandy thing on the Roku channel with that Madness Entertainment Network. All you do is search for Madness Entertainment on Roku. You'll find us there under podcasts.
And it's literally that easy.
It is. I could show you how to do it in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's literally that easy. I downloaded it to my TV because I didn't believe that Madness Entertainment actually wanted to put our podcast on. So I downloaded it right away just to really see if we were on there, and it's really neat. So you can just pull yourself up and put it right on. So
it's right here. Go what to watch, streaming store. If you know how to type, you can type it in. And as I say, whoop, there it is.
That's it. I mean, it's that easy. So anyone that wants to watch it from their TV, that is a thing. Once it's all done, it gets uploaded to there, and you can watch it, and you can share it from there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So in the start of the show tonight, I'd like to say, please take a second and like and subscribe. Follow our Facebook page. There's a lot of things that go on you guys don't want to miss out on. And we're going to get started.
And we are, before we do, we are currently at, I think we're at 5.7 thousand now on the YouTube.
5.7, yep.
I think at 6, we're going to, a nitpick from Ben, no?
Oh, dude. I'm going to do something stupid. You know me.
You were supposed to wax your chest like how many months
ago? They didn't do it. We didn't hit them.
Mm-hmm.
We had hit them within a certain amount. So I'm going to do something stupid, but we got to get the viewers to do it. I'm not just doing it because I'm bored.
6,000 by December 1st.
6,000 by December 1st. Okay. I can make that happen. What do you want to do?
We'll have to think about it. You're not allowed to shave again. They
Best hunting podcast on Roku. Yeah, my man. Thank you very much. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, they said you're never allowed to shave your face again because that was just too scary.
Yeah, I heard people. They don't like that. Should I go down to a goatee?
No, I didn't know you were gay.
All right, you think of it to the end of the show. I'll let you think of it, and then we'll go by that. Does that sound good? That way you have time to really sit on this. And let the viewers chime in. They can chime in what they want to have. Uh-oh, he's typing.
So, I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. But there was somewhere around where we are in central PA here. Mountain lions have been seen a lot more and more lately. I just was wondering if anybody else saw one.
Dude, I see a lot of posts. A lot of people make fun of people for the posts too. So it's I personally never seen one, but I do know a guy in PA that swears up and down he has. So
now, granted, there was a school that got shut down the other day. Did you hear about this one?
No.
There was a school that shut down because they said there was a mountain lion. Turns out it was just a really fat cat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you realize a really fat cat don't even come close to a mountain lion?
Oh God, no.
Doesn't even come close to a bobcat. And those are the things that blow things out of proportion. That's why, that's where Sasquatch first started.
Mm-hmm.
They seen a guy like me getting out of a river bathing, and all of a sudden there were Sasquatches. You know what I mean? That had to be what happened.
I did see one fight a deer once. A mountain lion fight a deer. That was pretty cool.
In like live, like
no, it was actually part of the research I was doing for this thing I wanted to that I was telling you about. And it the mountain lion came out of the woods into the field, started to charge the deer. It just ninja kicked the sucker like 6 times and then took off. Oh yeah, it was great.
Dude, I'm sorry. You make it sound like it come out with a bandana on and wah!
It was like, yeah, well, I mean, it was playing the Ninja Turtles theme.
That's what it made it sound like. Oh, I'm sorry. You made it sound awesome.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I've ninja kicking jaguars and shit in PA. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So I see we're getting more and more viewers by the second. That's great. Make sure you miss. We had some fun here in the beginning. Chris seen a mountain lion ninja kick a buffalo or an elk or something.
I did give a buffalo a headlock.
So that was pretty cool. But hold on. I will have to tell you guys about my experience in Maryland sometime. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
Get you on. Let's do it. Tonight is simple. It's a very simple story. Mm-hmm. It's just a very blessed day for me. And Chris, Jay, you can jump in, ask questions, whatever you want to do as we go here. I'm just going to start telling the story, and we can go. Now I can start the story like everybody else, and it was a gloomy, wet morning. I'm not going to do that. So, of course, it was Nick's, my son, 14-year-old, first time ever hunting. It was his first time I woke him up in the morning and I go actual hunting. So he's gone with dad, dressed in orange, sat with dad, tree stand, all that. Never did he go hunting for deer by himself. And again, he wasn't by himself. He was with me, but you understand what I'm saying. It's his first time. So I was determined that we were going to go sit in a tree stand. And Nick said, "Dad, you built that really nice blind for me, and it's got a roof, and it'll keep us cutting." Dude, it was not far from being cold at all on the first day of PA archery. But I said, "You know what, buddy? Whatever you want to do. If you want to go, that's fine. Let's go. I don't care. I'll hunt wherever you want to hunt. It's about you." So we get out there, we get set up, and it breaks daylight, and it's about 6. So I want to give the time right. It was 6:58. 6:58. I want to say it was 6:58 a.m. I seen a deer break the tree line, and I said, Nick, get your bow, get ready. So this deer, you're not going to believe this story. And I had this all filmed, but at 6:58 a.m., although it's legal shooting light, it does not give good footage. My GoPros, you couldn't even tell anything that was going on. So if I would have been shooting out the other side, we probably would have been fine because the sun was coming up, things were going. But because we're out the other side, it was blur is what it was, a big blur. Everything was a blur. So Nick's all excited. He's on his crossbow. He's out the window. I have my bow just hanging out the window, and I'm filming and watching, and he says, Dad, I think that's a buck. I said, well, buddy, you can shoot a buck or a doe. It doesn't matter. I said, if it gets up here, we're going to shoot him. So deer hits. It was right around 42 yards. And I said, hey, get on that scope. Get on that scope. When I tell you we're going to, And I didn't even get, I didn't even get, when I tell you, it went, woof, and there goes a lighted knock out the blind. And honestly, he hit the deer. But what he did is it skimmed the belly. So when a broadhead hit, it just opened it, the one blade, because it skimmed the belly. You know what I mean? And it cut the hair, the hide, but never actually cut the meat. So this spike bug turns and runs 40 yards up, 50 yards maybe tops, and turns around and starts stomping. And I was like, dude, you just blew that. I said, when your dad, I said, when I tell you, you got to listen, you got to pay attention. And he's like, sorry, Dad, I was so excited. I said, it's okay, but I said, I'm positive you hit it, but I'm not sure where you hit it. I don't know what we're going to do now. So I'm telling you, nobody's going to believe this. So this spike bug turns around, walks right up to Nick's lighted knock. Now there's Nick's lighted knock sticking in the ground. He comes right up, puts his nose on the lighted knock, and he starts going like this. Head up and down, head up and down. He's bobbing it. All of a sudden, he starts stomping. He's going. And I said, no freaking way is that happening right now. So I get my crossbow. I take Nick's. I hand Nick mine. And I said, get him, buddy. Third crosshair, get him. So it goes, woof. And I said, dude, that was a great shot. So now, understand it. Here's Nick's first arrow, okay? 42 yards where he just grazed it. This deer comes back and walks the same path and starts stomping at the arrow. So here's Nick's next arrow, like this, about 2 foot apart, sticking in a straight line, 2 foot apart, right? And I'm like, no way did that just happen. No way. So we're slapping 5, bumping fists. You know, I told him how proud of him I was. And I said, hey, let me cock your bow and then I'll get my bow back. So I get in there and I put my, the cocking aid on and I cock Nick's bow back. And I handed Nick his bow. I helped him get an arrow in it. And I said, now, you can shoot a doe yet because I know you made a good hit in that buck. He's like, oh, okay, Dad, okay. I said, if you see a buck, I said, it's Dad's turn. Well, in the meantime, I put my cocking aid on my crossbow because he used mine to shoot it. So I got the 2 hooks. So if anybody that would shoot a crossbow, that's 2 hooks. The 2 hooks got jammed up under where my scope goes. It's happened to me one time before when there's not enough room or you pull out instead of back. So I got my 2 hooks jammed inside there. Now I'm letting it down slow to make sure it ain't gonna go flying and break my limbs and string and and all this stuff. So I'm there playing with it, holding onto the string. Nick's in there prying. We're trying to get him unstuck. I didn't know what to do. So I finally said, listen, bud. I said, if a buck comes, Dad's gonna have to use your bow. And if a doe comes, it's all yours. He said, okay, Dad, that's fine. I already shot a buck. I said, okay. So I literally lay my bow in the corner. And Nick goes, Dad, here comes a buck. 8 minutes. Everything has happened within an 8-minute window. Okay, he shot his at 6:58, which daylight shooting light was at 6:31 or 32 that morning. So at 6:58, he shot his. Now here it is, 7:06, and here comes a buck. And I said, no freaking way is that buck coming up the same path. There's no way possible that's happening. So this buck comes out the same path. Now, I wasn't going to shoot it. I passed a 5-pointer the last 3 or 4 years. I had no intent to shoot a 5-pointer. And he's like, Dad, I shot a buck. You got to shoot that buck. And I was like, dude, I can't even tell how many points it has. And Nick's looking through the scope and he gets my binoculars. He said, Dad, that's a 5-point. I'm telling you, that's a 5-point. I said, I don't know, buddy. I really don't want to shoot a 5-pointer on the first day. And he's like, come on, Dad. And you and I will shoot a buck the first day together. I said, you know what, buddy? I never shot a buck before the first day. I'll shoot one with you. I said, depends where he goes. Now listen to this. This is the truth. Nick's arrow, 2 foot is Nick's arrows. This buck comes up, walks right over Nick's arrows. This was Nick's arrows. He walked like right here, right in front of Nick's arrows. He had to almost brush him. Okay. So here comes Nick's. Here comes his 5-point. Stops at 40 yards. I said, all right, give me the crossbow. So I put it out my window. I get up. Now, here's Nick's arrow, Dad's arrow. So within a 4-foot long section, we had 3 arrows, all lit up. I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe it. It's the honest to God truth. I've never in my life experienced anything like it, ever. I personally have never shot a buck in the first day, ever. If I seen a buck, it was a small one. I just passed them up. I never had, or I just never had the opportunity to kill the one I wanted the first day, so I let it go. So at this point, Nick and I we're in absolute amazement. You know, we're hugging, and I can't believe this just happened. Oh my God, this is awesome. I look at Nick and I go, didn't they both run in that same tree? And he goes, yeah, why? I said, how the heck are we going to find them deer? He said, what do you mean, Dad? I said, they're on the same blood trail. I said, they literally turned and ran the same place. He said, oh my God, Dad, I never thought of that. I said, dude, this is going to be miserable. So we sat till, I want to say it was 8:30. It was right around 8:30. It was starting to get hot. And I said, we can't do this, bud. We gotta go look now. So we get there and we're looking and looking. We're laughing about the arrows. My daughter comes up to help from the house. Heck, she got home from work. She didn't even go to sleep. She was that excited for us both. And we start looking. Of course, the arrows were easy to find because the light up knocks. The blood sucked in the beginning. We're like, dude, what the heck? Where's the... I said, well, you know what? I said, out in this open bean, the beans were mowed. So it was the edge of a cornfield, and then the beans. I said, it's going to be tough in these beans with them being mowed to find anything. We're just looking at dirt. So we got down in the grass, and we could start finding some blood. I said, you guys keep looking and following this. Dad's going to sneak over to this tree. I seen them both running out. Well, I hit this tree, and the blood just opened up. I mean, what a trail. So we go walking in. I didn't go in 50 yards. And I see Nick's deer laying there. I said, oh, Nick, I don't think you missed, dude. He's like, why? I said, man, your buck would be laying here by now if you got it. Well, he come around the corner, and I thought he was going to leapfrog me. Up over the back of me. That kid was so excited. It was so awesome, dude. What an experience. You know, everybody that talks about hunting and talks about, you know, oh, I shot a big one, I shot this. Shooting that 5-pointer with my son the first day, that was the greatest buck I've ever shot. And I have zero. No, Ray, it was not. It was a different one. I had to give that one to my dad. That one there shoots 20 yards, and that's it. Anything over that, it drops too bad. So we get in, of course, and we took some pictures of Nick with it, and I gave him a kiss on the forehead, and I told him how proud of him I was, and you know, I was in tears, of course, because you know, any dad that loves to hunt and witnesses that it's an amazing thing, and I don't know how else to explain it to people, except for it's an amazing moment that you can share with your kids, and that's truly what it is. It's just it's an unworded moment. I mean, I did it with my daughter. I cried with my daughter. It's just a moment I can't explain. And any guy that's 100 or any woman that's 100 that shares a moment, I think would feel the same. So, of course, we get in and we take pictures. We didn't gut it. I said, Nick, we're not gutting it. I said, the flies are already getting bad. I said the heat. I said it was by this time it was 9:15, 10:09. I'm like, dude, we can't mess around. It's just too hot. I said we got to find Dad's. So now, my daughter's looking left, right. My son's looking left and right, and we're kind of looking. And you ain't gonna believe this, but I looked down at Nick's deer and I said, "Guys, stay here." And Nick's like, "Why?" I said, "Nick, there's blood dripped on your deer." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Hold on." So I walked about 10 steps and my blood trail went right over Nick's deer. That deer literally walked right over Nick's deer. So there was blood dripped on the hide and the hair. So we tracked mine for, Nick made a heart shot and I made a lung shot. I always aim for the lungs. I don't aim for heart. The lungs, you can't go if you can't breathe. And the target's bigger. So I think we tracked mine about 80 yards from where we shot. It was about 60, 70 yards, maybe a little more. It was about 60, 70 yards past where Nick's was. So, of course, Nick found mine, right? Nick was pumped. He was so excited. Nick finds mine. He's like, "Dad, look what you did. Look, Dad, look." I mean, you can't. I'm going to go back to saying you can't understand unless you do it with your son. It's or your daughter. There's no feeling. When I say take a kid outside hunting to change their life forever, I mean that. Like, this kid is hooked. He is hooked. So, we get down there and he's pumped. So we take pictures and get the 4-wheeler. We drag it up. Nope. Ray, as I said, that is not the crossbow that you gave Nick. I gave that one to my dad. Nick at that time was using a Center Point 390 dagger. And I was using a Center Point 415. So I just, it's just one of them moments. We drug him up. Now here's an incredible part of the story that I don't know if anybody would find this as incredible as I do, but I always say God's behind, every great thing. So we get up there and we skinned him out. And dude, let me tell you, the flies were bad. At this point, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock. If you were hunting PA archery season the first day, it was miserable. The heat rays just came and there was no stopping it, So we got him back. We got him skinned out. And we started to quarter him up because I was just trying to get him anywhere I could get him to get cool. And as we're skinning Nick's deer, I hear this. And I said, "Guys, what the heck was that?" And everybody's like, I don't know. I heard that. And I said, "Dude, that was weird." So we look back and we actually watch Nick's crossbow. Now hear this. I watched Nick's crossbow jump a foot in the air. It made the noise again and Nick's crossbow jumped a foot in the air. And I said, "What in the hell is going on?" So we're just watching it. We stopped everything we're doing in heat and just watching this bow because we knew something wasn't right. And I said, "Dude, we better shoot that bow." And Nick's like, "I'll shoot it." I said, No, there's something wrong. Put an arrow in it. Shot the target. When I shot the target, the actual limb was cracked all the way up the front 2 limbs like this. And the head broke. So where the metal head and the limb since again the head, it literally just broke it. Boom. That's how much. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But so the point of the story is that bow could have failed at any time. Any time. And God was good enough to allow it to fail after my son harvested his first buck and his first deer ever. So I am so grateful for that, that incredible opportunity. Dude, all I can say is speechless, man. You can tell I could talk and I'm very speechless. The feeling in the moment that happens when you realize how good God is. And You know, my son this year took his first buck, his first deer with the bow, and then junior rifle, the first, I forget what day it was, first day, second day, first evening or second evening. I think it was the first evening. He couldn't wait. I think those lighted knocks might have had something to do with that. And it could be. It really could, Barnes, 622. It could be the lighted knocks that something to do with it. I don't know. I just know I've never experienced it. I shoot the same lighted knocks on my other center point bows. We never had an issue. I don't know, but it definitely wasn't good. So here's another one. Barnes 622. Similar issue Amy had with the doe incident. The play those lighted knocks have caused issues, almost like dry firing in a way. Ray Kiter says I agree with him. So yeah, I mean that's very possible. You know, I think on a crossbow the lighted knocks are tough because you have inserts. If the inserts aren't right, you know they're loose. You have Chris. You had a separate knock on yours before. You had some kind of weird knock. What was yours?
Well, mine was the Wicked Ridge, so it had the alpha knocks on.
Alpha knocks, yeah. So they're like a 5-point knock, right?
Well, you couldn't use anything else with it. It had to be that specific one.
So I mean, that just tells it's weird. It could have been anything really. I mean, I'm glad you guys are commenting on it because I do think that they may play a part in it. They're still playing them to make them go off, which gives. Yeah, it makes perfect sense, which gives the knock a little more play. Yeah, I agree. And again, that's possible. That's what happened. I don't know. I'm just grateful that it happened after that. I mean, understand that the blind we built is, Chris, you've seen this blind.
Yeah.
$55 I have into this blind. Everything else has been donated or free. I mean, thrown in the garbage.
Now, isn't this like your third crossbow exploding though?
Well, it's the same bow. Every time it's the same bow.
What was the one that took the camera out?
Oh no, that was different though. That wasn't the bow exploded. That was me.
Oh, okay.
So that one there. So that incident was. Oh God, I'm embarrassed to this. So that incident was the first Monday of archery last year, the following year, the year before. And I had the GoPro on a gooseneck. And I was certain the buck were going to come from the left. And they did. So I moved my camera from the left to the right. But instead of moving my camera back the rail, I was in a double man with a rail. Instead of moving my camera back to the back of the rail, filming over me, I left it to the front right. So what happened was when my crossbow limbs went forward, it hit the GoPro and exploded it. And it exploded. Now listen, this is how expensive that trip was. It exploded the limbs, the string, the GoPro, the gooseneck. GoPro continued to film on the ground when we pulled the chip. Now, here's the best part of that film. If you look, there's a video up on it's called GoPro. I forgot what it's called, Chris. GoPro Explodes or something. That video, if you watch, the buck comes in 11 yards. The same buck the GoPro exploded on came back at 11 yards and walked right into me. And there I sat with an exploded bow. And, dude, he was there like 22 minutes eating acorns. Big 7-pointer. God, I almost wanted to cry.
That just before you see these deer, I shot 30 yards at a buck and blew up my crossbow.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's a little screen, but you can see him walking in. Dude, I had 22 minutes of shooting light left. That was a bummer.
Now you'll notice the buck I missed came into 15 yards. Not only did I blow the string off and break a cam hitting my GoPro holder, but now he came up this 8-pointer came up to make a fool out of me.
Oh, it was an 8-pointer. I thought it was a 7. So, yeah, he made a complete a-hole out of me. I want you to know he stood there with a doe, too. The doe was closer than the buck. So, yeah, Chris, we've had bad experience. This bow alone, this center point 390 dagger, has actually broken limbs on it 3 times now. It's the only buck. I own 4 center points, and it's the only one that has done that. So, they just sent us a new head. First, they sent me a new head, and it's a wrong head. So I called, yelled, did a little complaining. They expedited me a new head, and this one fit. So now, of course, season's over, archery's over, and we put it in the case, and it's up here. So it's up in the editing room. So, it's going. But, hey, Pennsylvania Hunting and Fishing Addicts. Hey, how you doing? I love all the comments, love all the guys. So thank you very much for the support, everybody joining. I do love that. Appreciate all you for that. But honestly, like I will always go back to God is good when it comes to these moments because, Chris, your son, does he want to hunt?
He says he does, but then when you get him out there, it's too cold, it's too this, it's too that.
So he's either just not ready.
I think so, yeah.
And it's okay. That happens. Ages Nick's gone out a million times and just never wanted to hunt. And this year he was determined he wanted to hunt. And like I said, God blessed him. I mean, he took real good care of him.
I've had him out squirrel hunting and stuff, but it's the winter ones he's not a fan of. Heck, I think we have a video up where I'm up in the tree stand with him, and I had my warm coat on, but then I ended up having to give it to him. So he's all there bundled like an Eskimo in my XXX shirt or coat, and I'm like, son of a.
You're in a t-shirt, shivering,
yeah,
thumb in your mouth.
But it's what you do.
Oh, it's what you do when you take your kids. I mean, it's that's the thing. I was out tonight working on the blind. I made the windows, sliding windows, and I made the side windows that they flip up, and I did that. So if we're out in the first day of rifle, Nick, I can shoot a doe yet. Nick can shoot 2 doe yet, and Haley can shoot 3 doe and a buck yet.
So I got a problem with what you're doing. Okay. You have a sliding window there.
Yeah.
On that, but I don't see any drive-through menu for me to pull up there and get myself a Big Mac.
Well, I guess we can make that happen, right? I mean,
you asked what you were missing. You're missing a grill and an order for a Big Mac.
We can put a grill in it yet. I don't know if we can fit it well, but we can get a grill in there yet. I'm installing the heater tomorrow. I had the heater installed. I took it out. I'm actually going to move it.
If you put the grill in, you don't need the heater. You got the grill from cooking the burgers.
I made some adjustments, so we're working on that right now. Nick and I are out working on it. We're going to get some more done. I think it'll be great. But so I guess for the viewers, and it sucks because we just lost a ton of viewers in like 30 seconds.
That's because I started talking. I'll shut up.
No, that's nothing to do with that. We just lost viewers. So my question to the viewers is always this: who has a kid out there, and who thinks the experience with your kid is just so much more powerful than any buck or any deer you could harvest? Like I said, this year, this story that you guys just heard is based on my son harvested a spike buck. 8 minutes later, I shot a 5-pointer with him. And honestly, I would never, ever take back shooting a 5-point. And I've seen some pretty big buck this year. I have seen some pretty big buck this year. But I have no remorse. It's okay with me. I think it's great. I think God blessed me and shared an opportunity with my son that was worth everything. If you guys were paying attention and watching all our Facebook page and our stuff, you can see Dave, actually Barnes 622, you guys are seeing in the comments, helped me create a masterpiece. I call it a masterpiece because I'm so happy with it. For my son, replicating that mine and his off the same thing. And I just think it's great. So we have a couple comments here. Send you guys a pretty cool clip of a lady taking her little boy. So I'll forward that to Chris, unless you already did, Barnes. I love taking kids out. We had 3 kids shoot bear this weekend. Today's kid was 11-year-old. Dude, that is awesome, Bob. I wish I had more of that. More, absolutely. Quinn out with me twice. We didn't get a shot at anything, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know how much she hunts and fishes with me. Yeah, and listen, I agree totally, guys. Like I love hearing those things. To me, that's what this is about. You know, everybody talks about the horns and the antlers, and it's if you get if I shoot a 12-pointer with a I could care less. I really could care less. Is it great? Sure. Do I love being able to put it on my wall and show it off a little bit? Yeah. Would I change taking a kid out and allowing a kid to harvest? You know, if taking a kid out and harvesting a spike buck out of the same tree I know I could shoot a monster out of. If I had to say, why am I going to take that kid till I shoot that big buck? I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't. It's not me. I love seeing a kid's face. I love seeing the excitement when this happens. So Barnes, I'm going to forward your video. I didn't watch it yet. I'll watch it with Chris. I'm going to forward it to Chris now. And we'll share it with everybody if it's a good one. I didn't look at it, Chris, so you might have to screen it as Barnes. But it's amazing, you know. Sorry, I apologize. I stopped talking. I went right into comments. I always say taking a kid isn't going to change the world, but it'll change the world for one kid. And that is a great way to say it. Totally agree, Bob. It is a tremendous way to say it because, you know, I always say take a child outside and change their life forever. And I mean that. And I don't just mean a child. I mean women. I don't think women get enough credit in this. Oh, here we go.
Where is it? 5 of them. I'm gonna take it up. I don't think that's how you do it. You know how? I call up a monster. I don't want to do that. They're scary. You do it. No. I'll do it. Shh. I'm scared the deer. Cooper, that's too big of a bite. Quiet. Get loud. What do you see? Right there. It's a baby deer. You can't get it. He's wild. Mommy's getting him. Yeah, there you go.
That's a great video. That is an absolute great video. Sorry, I blew my screen up here, so now my face is about 40 times the size when it goes back. Dude, that was a great video. And honestly, if I had to sit here and be honest, I think it's amazing that lady can do that. Me, my patience level to take a 3-year-old or 4-year-old, I don't know if I could do it. I would do it. I mean, I would gladly do it. I just don't know if I could do it and be one of them to be there for hours with a 3 or 4-year-old. But think about what that kid. Think about it. Think about what that kid got to experience. I mean, I don't think you can experience that playing a basketball game or playing or having a wrestling match. Do you guys think that? Do you think that, you get the same experience doing those things? How about you, Chris? You think it's a kid gets the same feeling, same rush, the same, and maybe they do. I don't know. I just know I've never experienced a feeling like I have harvesting or sharing a harvest with a child. Anybody? Hey, listen, don't everybody speak at once. All right, everybody calm down. Don't everybody speak at once. There he is.
But no, it's going to be different. It's like you said. Jacob said to me once that he thought he wanted to go until I brought one home and started gutting it in the front and skinning it out. Then he had to go inside because he was going to get sick. So I mean, it's not for everybody, but yeah, and it's definitely something that's lost in the I love my apps phase that we seem to be in.
I agree with you. I do agree with you on that.
I think more time away from the phone and more time out just doing whatever, even if it's not this stuff, it's would be better for them.
I see that, and that's what I always say. Who cares if you're riding a 4-wheeler, camping, fishing, hiking? Who cares? I mean, everybody finds their passion doing something, and being able to share that with a kid, I think, is tremendous. I just think it's incredible. Did you see the little girl in the hunting video I sent you the other day crying about the buck running away? Yeah, I did. That was a cool video. And there's some great videos out there to just see those things. If you just watch the excitement and the happiness in somebody, dude. All right, so to get rid of a kid for a minute. Let's think about this. Eliminate a kid for a minute. Luke Bryan. Does everybody remember watching the Luke Bryan video? Did I get it? Is he down? Did I get it? Is he down? Dude, is he down? Right? I mean, dude, that's a grown man. That's $1 million professional. When my boy was 3, I had him sitting between my legs. Dude, that's awesome. When my boy was 3, I had him sitting between my legs when I shot a spring gobbler. I'm pretty sure he was hooked at that moment. He wanted to carry the turkey out, and it was bigger than him. And you know what? I think it's great because I don't think enough people get to experience those things with their kids. So dude, I have to agree. I mean, we used to go rabbit hunting. Dude, my Nick he didn't want to hunt. My God, he wanted to carry all the rabbits. Squirrels, he would carry squirrels or ringnecks. He'd just take the dog and he'd want to control the dog just to feel like he was part of it, and he didn't want to hunt. That wasn't his thing at the time. So it's awesome, you know what I mean? So Barnes, play that little girl video I sent you. That's the one that is funny, and I'm sure we felt that way. All right. Chris, go for it. So we're going to play a video here quick for you.
But we can't.
No, you ran away, didn't he?
Yep. But I think you just ran away and we can't get a shot. And
That's okay, bud. Next time.
yeah,
What happened, buddy?
we tried to get a deer, but we can't.
No, you ran away, didn't he?
Yep. But I think you just ran away and we can't get a shot. And
That's okay, bud. Next time.
yeah.
Dude, that poor kid was crushed that deer got away. I seen Bard sent me that the other day. That's what's funny is us as adults experience that feeling. I think about it. How much do we experience that and feel that? I just watched the big buck get away, or I had him at 40 yards and I didn't get the shot. So I love that. Love that.
But I think one of the best things that it teaches is not only the patience to wait, but the like the song says, you don't always get what you want. You know what I mean?
Well, Chris, speaking of
And
patience, you had an experience with Nick
Mhm.
this year where you taught Nick. I mean, I taught him too, but where you taught him patience.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It was just that the one. I think we have the short of it, but the one came out, and it was clearly too small. And it was just a simple thing of we're gonna let this one go. You know, it's neat to look at. It's fun to watch it. And we let it snort at us then, and then, but yeah, no. Even he said then, yeah, no, we're gonna let that one go.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, you teach him so much in this, so much. But we are at our mark, which honestly I can't believe we're at our mark. So I just looked and seen we're at 45 already. As everybody knows, watching this, we try to stay within our 45-minute mark so we can upload to all the great places Chris named in the beginning. So I'm going to let you all at this, okay? I'd like to see in the comments below. Yeah, we cry in different ways, that's for sure. So in the comments below, I would love anybody who watches this video to give us your favorite hunting moment with a youth. And I'm going to say youth because it doesn't have to be your son, your daughter, your nephew. It can be any kid you're with. I'd love to hear your favorite hunting moment. If we get enough of them, we'll do a show just reading off these incredible hunting moments. And maybe we'll have you come tell us even. Maybe we'll get you to join us and tell us. That would be really cool. So in the comments below, I'm going to say it again. I need you guys. This video will upload to YouTube and Facebook and all those things. So in the comments below, give us your favorite hunting moment with a youth. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see it. I love seeing the kids outside and doing it. I love seeing you guys all teaching the kids and being a mentor and taking the next step. I think that's incredible. And I think everybody should do more of that. I think we need a lot less big buck hunters and a lot more hunters that are mentors. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. We love you. God bless. And we're going to roll out of here.